Welcome to the best tech of 2020 and a look into the future, what 2021 will bring. But before we begin, we should take a moment to acknowledge something that seems to get overlooked again and again in all this doom and gloom that we've had this year. How tech completely and totally stood out. We're going to cover it all: laptops, smartwatches, TVs, tablets, and declare the best of the best. And we can't do that unless, of course, we have the absolute best panelists on the show who have extreme knowledge across categories and have the added ability to understand tech at an expert level and then explain it at a consumer level. It's my privilege to introduce you to Swapnil, Head of Test Center Digit, and Nishant, Editor of Stuff and What Hi-Fi magazine. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on the show. So let's just start with that. Let's start off with having a little discussion on what do you think were the top headlines that made it. I mean, we at the Gadget 360 team had a lot of things to discuss, but I'd love to know from all of you. So we thought the fact that companies were able to launch things, so virtual launch events, Apple's M1 chip, completely changes the game for a lot in the future, that it will bring. The ban on Chinese apps, some of the biggest ones got knocked out, TikTok and PUBG and others. Online education, good or bad, I still don't know. Apple removing the charger from the box, I think, was another big headline. So, Swapnil, I'll start with you. Anything else that you thought really stood out?
I think for me personally, when the pandemic hit, there was something called folding at home that sort of started trending, which is essentially distributed computing, where your laptop is lying at home, it's idle, but there are medical researchers who can remotely use the computing power of your laptop or your desktop to sort of decode the COVID-19 virus.
Nishant, what about you? Anything that really stood out as the biggest tech headline for you?
For me, because I've been also reviewing and driving a lot of connected cars. For me, 2020 was the year when I think the connected car technology also just came to just came of age.
All right, let's take a look at what we at the Gadget 360 team thought were the best or what the worst, the most controversial also. So tech headlines that really made 2020 happen.
2020, a year that everyone said was cancelled. But was it really? Well, when it comes to tech, it wasn't. And we can prove that to you with the biggest headlines from this different yet exciting year. Virtual launch events. Initially, a lot of tech enthusiasts, including us, thought that expecting a grand launch event is not fair this year, but boy were we proven wrong. It was surprising to see how quickly tech brands around the globe adapted to the situation. While OnePlus launched its much-awaited flagship phones in October with a virtual launch event where customers were allowed to virtually unbox the latest phone and experience it in augmented reality, Apple came out as the king of launches this year, with the company practically launching a refreshed lineup of all its products. It started in September with the launch of the Apple Watch Series 6 and the new iPad Air. From the big bang in October with the latest iPhone 12 series to the much-awaited introduction of the Apple M1 chips, we saw high-quality content made by the tech giant, which made sure we don't miss the generic press parties. The ban on Chinese apps. Now, ban is one word that we heard quite a lot this year. It all started in the first wave, started with the Indian government passing an order to ban 59 Chinese apps in India, including TikTok. The internet community reacted to this decision with mixed emotions. While a healthy chunk of people was satisfied with the decision, some sections of the community thought otherwise. However, a big surprise came in September when we saw a ban on another 118 Chinese apps, including PUBG Mobile. A favorite among gaming enthusiasts in India, PUBG Mobile had an active user base of around 50 million in India. Yes, there were heartbreaks. Online education. When the pandemic hit us this year, education became a talking point. Parents around the globe were concerned for their children and how they will cope with their studies. It was then that we saw a quick shift with education going completely virtual. Schools adapted to Google Classrooms in never-seen-before numbers. We also saw Zoom calls becoming a trend. Not only this, the online education sector saw a massive jump in users. Startups like those of Byju's saw a 200% increase in their user base, while Vedantu raised a whopping $100 million to meet the growing demand.
All right, let's move on now to another thing that I think is important. We spoke about it, that from within great calamity comes great innovation. So let's talk about some of the tech innovations of 2020 that really, really made a big deal. Nishant, what do you think? Biggest innovation of 2020?
I think, yes, video calling really took off. Sadly, correspondingly, I don't think that the cameras on laptops have improved.
So Apnil, what about you?
I think for me personally, the M1 chip was a redefining thing, because now you have a laptop which is great for editing. You know, it's not compromising on performance, but it's also giving you incredible battery life.
So let's move on now into taking a look at what we at the Gadget 360 as a team thought were some of the best innovations of the year.
A moment that took 10 years in the making. Apple finally ditched Intel chips this year and introduced their first silicon, the M1. The first SoC by Apple M1 has been introduced in Apple's MacBook Pro 13 inches and the MacBook Air. The M1 chip by Apple comes packed with an 8-core GPU, which is further dissected down into 4 high efficiency and 4 high performance cores. The first chip designed specifically for Mac, M1 packs an astonishing 16 billion transistors at just 5 nanometers. The chip makes way for 15 times faster machine learning while performing 11 trillion operations every second. We tested the latest M1 powered MacBook Pro on our show and we became a fan. With M1, we have not only entered the new era for Apple's Mac lineup, but personal computing in general. 2020 was not just a leap year according to your calendar, because the gaming industry took a major leap towards the future. There was history in the making, with us living through another chapter of the console wars. Sony and Microsoft launched 2 consoles each this year. The price fight between Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 had a very cold start. While Sony is struggling to keep up with the demand of the PlayStation, Microsoft has put its force of experts to work in order to find out why it is being outperformed by the PS5. The beauty of tech is not just in design, but in the application and practicality as well. A couple of years ago, manufacturers across the industry started flirting with the idea of foldable displays. Their intentions started coming to life with us seeing foldable technology being adapted to live with smartphones like Samsung Galaxy Fold. Microsoft entered the realm with the Surface Duo, which was praised for its design but garnered mixed reviews from the users. But the highlight reel isn't complete without foldable laptops. 2020 saw the launch of the world's first foldable laptop with the Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Fold. Trying to join the party with the Lenovo, LG has recently filed a patent for a rollable laptop in 2 sizes. While the first half of 2020 forced us to stay inside our homes, we humans adapted to the phrase, "the show must go on" in the purest essence. This was made possible with the help of multiple video calling services. The frontrunner of them turned out to be Zoom. The online video calling service grew so big that it became the de facto verb for virtual meetings. The demand for fitness tech this year rose by a very healthy margin. As more and more people were trying to reach their desired fitness goals while staying at home, the tech industry responded with some breakthrough innovations. To fitness apps like Map My Run and JFit Workout Planner topping the charts on the app stores.
Okay, and now let's get down to what everyone loves when we do these special shows, and that is the best gadgets of 2020. And we divide them into categories, and let's talk about first a category that really came into its own this year, 2020. I think it was a watershed moment for smartwatches, because they went from why would I wear a smartwatch to which one should I buy? And now it really did. I mean, they were called medical devices on a wrist. So let me find out from our 2 panelists, best smartwatch of the year.
For me, it was the Galaxy Watch 3 showed a lot of promise, and Tizen has really improved. It's become a very smooth experience. It's very close to the Apple Watch OS as well. But again, if I had to wear something constantly on my wrist, it would still be the Apple Watch, either the SE or the Watch 6. Depends on your budget and what you can afford.
It would be the Apple Watch Series 6, hands down. The reason why the Apple Watch Series 6 for me would be the best smartwatch of the year is actually very simple. First, it's got the best app ecosystem. You have every popular app, whether it's fitness, health, and even productivity, available on the Apple Watch Series 6. That's one. Secondly, with respect to the battery life, so I figured out a very easy hack. One, this watch supports fast charging. So around 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, I put it on to charge. So about an hour and a half later, the watch is ready to go. I go to bed at whatever time I go to bed, and I wake up and there's still charge left. So I know my sleep has been tracked.
So you basically charge your watch to actually sleep. I mean, that's actually pretty interesting for a lot of people who are going to be potential customers for it, that you do need to charge your watch to go to sleep. So that's the future for sure. Okay, so we do know that people have really liked it, but let's take a look at what we thought were some of the best smartwatches of the year.
Now, when it comes to smartwatches, the Apple Watch has time and again set industry standards with the innovations it brings to the table. But that innovation comes at a cost, which might not be feasible for everyone. Apple took care of these concerns this year when they launched a more budget-friendly option, the Apple Watch SE. The latest smartwatch by Apple comes with a Series 5 chip and packs the majority of the sensors that we see on the more expensive Series 6, except for the SpO2 monitor. Starting at 29,900 rupees, the Watch SE was a successful bet by Apple. Honor surprised the consumers this year when they introduced a rugged smartwatch, the Honor Watch GS Pro. At 18,000 rupees, the GS Pro offers some serious bang for the buck. It is feature-rich and it comes with all the sensors that you can expect from a flagship smartwatch. The design is sturdy and the watch can definitely take some punishment if you are a rough user. With some amazing battery optimization, the GS Pro can last up to 25 days for a moderate user. Samsung this year decided to take on Google Wear by introducing the Galaxy Watch 3. The latest smartwatch by Samsung runs on the Tizen OS. The watch looks great and works even better. There is a rotating bezel on the front which has multiple applications to it. Starting at 29,999 rupees, the Galaxy Watch 3 took the Android smartwatch game to a whole different level. The latest smartwatch by Titan, Track Triathlon, packs in some of the best features that you expect to see on a smartwatch. It is GPS enabled and comes with multiple sports modes to help you keep a track of your fitness regime. Another well thought out addition on this smartwatch is the transflective display, which makes it more convenient for the user to look at, be it morning or night. Starting at 18,000 rupees, the Track Triathlon definitely grabbed our attention. There was a time when the term fitness bands was synonymous with Fitbit, but ever since we saw the entry of new brands in the market, this phenomenon has changed. Fitbit tried to regain their glory with Fitbit Charge 4. The latest fitness band comes with improved specs and starts at a price of 14,999 rupees. The Mi Band 5 made it to our list because of the great features it offers at a very affordable price. The revised design of the Mi Band garnered positive reviews from consumers. The fitness band features a colorful display this year and improved build quality. At 2,499 rupees, this is the most value for money fitness band that you can buy.
And now the category that most of you may be watching this on, the category that I think saved us in our lockdowns, and this, I think a lot of people also pray to this device every single day. The televisions, I mean, no, not your smartphone, because televisions really came into their own. People really realized how important a bigger screen is. And a lot of things happened in the TV market. From almost every brand that makes phones started making televisions, some good, some not so good. Sony, Samsung, LG, all of them did a great job. By the way, a little shout out to Samsung. They've completed 25 years in India, so congratulations to them. I hope the next 25 years also is as good. So let's find out from, starting with Nishant, the TV of the year.
TV of the year has to be, for me, hands down, the Sony A8H 65-inch OLED. It is, I think, by far the best TV I've actually had the pleasure to see.
The A8H for me as well was one of the best TV, actually the best TV of the year.
So let's take a look at what we thought some of the best TVs of the year.
One of the few 4K smart TVs running on Android 10, the Motorola Smart TV definitely grabbed a lot of attention this year. We experienced it firsthand and were impressed with the Google-backed OS and the crystal clear image quality. For 40,999 rupees, it shines for its price to performance ratio. Grand is how you define this next TV on our list. An 8K HDR display with 120Hz refresh rate, acoustic multi-audio system with frame tweeter, a bezel-less design, Alexa support and running on Android. The Sony Bravia Z8H 8K Smart TV is indeed the maximum TV that you can buy with your money. This smart TV is running in its own league since it comes with a hefty price tag of 14,99,900 rupees. Another smartphone brand trying to build its momentum in the TV market, OnePlus launched the OnePlus Q1 QLED 4K TV for a price of 84,899 rupees. The 55-inch Android certified TV comes with a 4K Ultra HD resolution and a set of 4 full-range 50-watt speakers that support Dolby Atmos. We talk about TVs and don't count Samsung? That's not possible. This smart TV features a bezel-less display and is offered in multiple screen sizes, with the biggest one being 75 inches. The TV features Samsung Multi-View option, in which you can divide the screen into 2 parts and watch 2 videos along with separate volume output control. Starting at 44,400 for the 43-inch variant, Samsung has done a great job with its Crystal TV series.
This is our special Gadget 360 show where we're talking about all the best things that happened in 2020 for tech, the best products, the best categories, but lots more coming up. And from TVs that really became lifesavers to actual lifesavers, a health device that became even more important this year than any other. Air purifiers. You know, we've never ever done air purifiers as a separate category, but boy, this year, do they need to come into their own. So let's find out from our panel the best air purifier of the year. So Apneel, we'll start with you.
For me, it would be the Dyson Pure Humidify Plus Cool.
Okay.
So I have a history of asthma. I've had asthma since I was a child. So for me, an air purifier is an absolute necessity. But during winters, one of the biggest problems that aggravated my breathing issues was the dry, cold air.
Right.
With the built-in humidifier, believe me, it is such a relief.
Nishant, anything different from you?
No, I think even I completely concur with the Swapnil.
So that is, of course, the choice. And, you know, even our choice really is that only. But there were more that came out with great products this year. Let's take a look.
With the menace of air pollution getting more dangerous every year, air purifiers have become a necessity. This year, we saw some old and new machines ruling this segment for a good reason. We've tried to boil it down to the best ones for you. A 3-in-1 machine that packs in a cooling fan, a heater and an air purifier, the Dyson Hot Plus Cool Cryptomic is innovation at its best. The machine comes with 3 intelligent sensors that work on the principle of sense, capture and project. The purifier not only protects us from harmful particles like PM2.5 and PM10, but also gets rid of gases like formaldehyde. The machine is definitely expensive with a price tag of 61,900 rupees, but it delivers on all its claims. Carrier this year launched a new series of air purifiers dubbed Clawind. The purifiers come in a unique tower-shaped design and feature a smart LED display. It comes with 18 levels of fan speed and cleans the air around us by a 5-stage filtration process. Starting at 37,899 rupees, this air purifier definitely deserves a spot on our list.
And from Nirvana for our lungs, moving on to Nirvana for our ears, headphones and speakers. You know, this is something where the category has become so diverse. I mean, there are smart speakers, there are audiophile speakers, there are headphones, there are TWS. So lots and lots of things to talk about, but we'll start off our journey with smart speakers. Lots of them out there. But, you know, one of the things that a lot of people have started to talk about is that, is there now smart speaker fatigue? So, Nishant, I'll start with you. Quick answer on smart speaker fatigue. Is it already starting to set in? Or it's still a hot category and the best smart speaker of the year?
I think we're only getting started with smart speaker because people are just exploring the fringes of what you can do with a smart speaker beyond the sound part of it. In terms of sound, if you ask me what would be my pick for the best smart speaker of the year, it would still be the Apple HomePod, purely because of its sonics, because it really sounds like a grown-up audiophile grade speaker and not something that was first envisioned as a smart tool, and then they added a speaker driver inside.
For me, the best smart speaker of the year would be the HomePod Mini. Now, The
One
Mini
or two
is
of them?
actually, well, you could actually get away with one depending on how big your room is, but
Okay.
get two, more the merrier.
Let's take a look at all the other great stuff that came out in 2020.
The successor to the Google Home, the latest smart speaker by Google, Nest Audio. As the name suggests, Google's main focus with the latest smart speaker was audio, and yes, they succeeded in this ambition. At a price of Rs 6,999, it is indeed one of the best speakers in the market today. Apple surprised everyone this year with the HomePod Mini. The compact smart speaker is just 3.3 inches in size and features two passive radiators, resulting in a sound that's crystal clear. At a price of Rs 9,900, it is an expensive gadget, but for someone who is in the Apple ecosystem, it is a natural buy. A makeover to Amazon's compact Echo smart speaker. The 4th generation Echo Dot comes with a more familiar spherical design and features a 1.6-inch front-firing speaker. At a price of Rs 3,249, the new Echo Dot offers a better experience without pinching your pocket.
And on to another category that we all love and we all use, and that is, of course, headphones. Now, lots of them, but great excitement coming into this category now because Apple has kind of thrown their gauntlet in and thrown down the gauntlet well. So let's find out now from the panel, what is their headphone of the year? Swapnil, I'll start with you.
So for me, the headphone of the year would be the Sony 1000X Mark IV, WH-1000X Mark IV. I've actually used every single one of those headphones that they've had, 1, 2, 3, and now the 4. I own a pair of 3s, and the difference between the 4 and the 3 is actually quite, like, you feel it.
Completely, again, agree with Swapnil that the 1000X Mark IV, even I've been an owner of the Mark III, and there are real, tangible, audible improvements to the Mark IV.
Let's take a look at other headphones that really hit the headline this year.
A successor to the highly successful WB-1000 XM3s, Sony's WH-1000 XM4 came in strong and erected itself as the best noise-cancelling headphones in 2020. Powered by the QN1 chip, Sony's latest headphones come at a price of Rs 29,900, which is slightly cheaper than their predecessor. Apple finally revealed its first over-ear headphones, the AirPods Max. The new headphones have a premium build and Apple's own H1 chip for a seamless wireless experience. But the Apple logo brings in a heavy price tag of Rs 59,900.
Thank you so much. That's all we have for you this week. But lots of great stuff coming up next week. We've got fantastic categories. We've got the best fails. And then we'll also take a look into 2021, things that we're really waiting for. Technology, innovation, products that we can't wait for coming out in 2021. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you next week.